Hi viewers, here let's consider this question. Express minus 1 plus 2i out of 1 plus 3i in form of a plus bi. This question is under complex numbers. Okay, now we are asked to express this in form of a plus bi. Okay, now the question is, how are we going to do it? Okay, now here let us start by making a solution, right? And now what we are going to do first is we are going to rationalize by the conjugate of denominator, which is going to be 1 minus 3i. Okay, now here let us have minus 1 plus 2i out of 1 minus 3i. Alright, sorry, 1 plus 3i. Okay, and now we are going to rationalize. Okay, we are going to rationalize by the conjugate of denominator, and the conjugate is going to be 1 minus 3i. Alright, okay, now here let us have 1 minus 3i, 1 minus 3i. Alright, okay, now our next step is we are going to open the bracket. Minus 1 plus 2i, we're going to multiply it by everything inside the bracket, the same to denominator. Right, now let us open our brackets here. Okay, here we're going to have minus 1 multiplied by 1, then we're going to have minus 1. Okay, now how about minus 1 multiplied by minus 3i? I think we're going to have plus 3i. Okay, now how about 2i multiplied by 1? I think we're going to have 2i, right? Plus 2i. Okay, now how about minus 1? Sorry, it is 2i multiplied by minus 3i. I think here we're going to have this multiplied by this. I think we're going to have this 6, right? We're going to have minus 6i squared. Okay, and we're going to have minus 6i squared. Alright, now it is going to be out of, here we're going to have 1 multiplied by 1. We're going to have 1. Okay, here we're going to have 1. How about 1 multiplied by minus 3i? Here we're going to have minus 3i. Okay, now how about 3i multiplied by 1? We're going to have plus 3i. Right, now how about 3i multiplied by minus 3i? I think here we're going to have minus 9i squared. Alright, we're going to have minus 9 squared. Okay, now here we're going to have minus 1. Now we're going to have this 3i plus 2i. Okay, and here we're having I squared, 6 minus 6i squared, and down here we're also having minus 9i squared. Okay, and remember from the rule of complex numbers, for example, here we're having I squared. From the rule of complex numbers, I squared are equal to minus 1. Okay, and whenever you get I squared, all right, in the number like this, in complex number question, what you are going to do is you are going to make it minus 1. All right, you are going to make that I squared to be minus 1. All right, now let us replace it. All right, here let us replace wherever there's I squared with minus 1. All right, okay, here let us have minus 1 plus, we're going to have minus 1 plus, here let us have 3i plus 2i. I think we're going to have 5i. All right, okay, now it is going to be minus 6 into minus 1. All right, and minus 6 into minus 1. Why? because here we're having I squared, and wherever there's I squared, we're going to put minus 1, right? Okay, now it is going to be out of, here we're going to have 1, right? 1, okay? Then here we're having a minus 3i plus 3i. I think this will cancel out, right? Okay, now we're going to remain with minus 9 into minus 1. Why? Because here we're having I squared, right? It's going to be minus 9 into minus 1, all right? Okay, now here we're going to have a minus 1 plus 5i, okay? Now, minus 6 and minus 6 multiplied by minus 1, I think we're going to have plus 6, all right? Out of, here we're going to have 1, then minus 9 multiplied by minus 1, I think we are going to have plus 9. Okay, now on the numerator, we are going to collect the like terms. Here we're going to have minus 1 plus 6 and plus 5i. Alright, out of, it's going to be out of 10, right? 1 plus 9, we're going to have out of 10 here. Okay, here it is going to be out of 10. Now, a minus 1 plus 6, I think we're going to have 5, right? It's going to be 5 plus 5i, alright, out of 10. Okay, now I can even write it in form of this, 5 plus 5i, here out of 10 and here out of 10. Okay, now let us first try to shift it here. Okay, now here we're having 5 out of 10 plus 5 out of 5i out of 10. Okay, here by 5 we're going to have 1, by 5 I think we're going to have 2. The same with this, by 5 we're having 1, and by 5 here we're going to have 2. All right, so now our final answer, it is going to be a half out of, here 1 out of 2 plus a half I. All right, okay, this is our final answer, 1 out of 2 plus 1 out of 2i. I think this is now in form of this, right? Here we're having a plus bi. I think it is in form of this. Okay, this is our final answer.